Hey Jeremiah and Teresa, Josh here with Masters Fencing. I want to take you for a final walkthrough of your board on board, 3/4 thick, Alta style premium privacy fence. Here as you see, we follow the flow of the property on every install, starting at the height of the ground, right there about a ½ an inch off of the house. I was sure not to touch the house with the wood, so I stayed about a ½ an inch off. Now the inside board, leaving about a 3 3/4 inch gap between each board, coming over the top with a 6-inch board so it overhangs at least an inch on each side. Follow the flow of the property down here, and of course wrap the post, went straight across with a double drive right here, and then continue back down the property. Here you have your 10-foot wide double drive gate. Got some nice heavy duty handles here with some lags. And here, of course, the handle is very easy to operate. You just pull up like that and push it open, and opens your seats. And if you want to grab a shot of this, man, we'll get some work here. So here's how the handle works. If you just push up like that, it opens, and there's a breaker bar. Come on inside. There's a breaker bar right here that, of course, that hits. Right there, and you can put a padlock or a bolt right here if you wanted to lock it if you went out of town, say. Let's see, starting up here, of course, following the flow of the property, set a post right here, a key post right here, and then one at the corner, and on the other side of the property. And every post that we set, whenever we dig the hole, we're sure to dig on all 4 sides of the post. Whenever the string line was ran, we kicked the string line back and dug past it to make sure concrete got on all 4 sides of the post. And we put about 30 to 40 pounds in each post, packed it down really tight, and then put about 3 to 4 inches of dirt back on top of that. Here for the gate post, I used a 4x6x10, and I went about 4 feet down in the ground and used 120 pounds of fast set concrete. I made sure that these posts were as firm as a tree before hanging these gates. These gates are extremely heavy, very heavy, heavy duty, but they don't operate that way. Here if you see, the T-hinges are actually 12 inches long, and they stretch out here for the majority of it, 8 inches I believe it is. And in here in the middle of each T-hinge, I use a 6-inch lag screw, about that long. Of course, everything is also pilot hold, making sure that the wood doesn't split. And use 3 of them, of course. When I also box each gate out, and whenever I do the frame, I actually do what's called lap joints. I cut half of it off, and then I screw these back together right here, so that's the firmest hold. And then I also do a middle brace right here, coming in the outside with a screw, and also do adjacent braces with 2 4-inch screws coming down into each connection point. And here we have the drop rods for each gate. This, being the furthest gate away from your house, is actually the primary or stationary gate, the one that doesn't need to be opened for coming in and out. This is the main access to come in and out, the one closest to your house. So this drop rod does not have to be down at all times if you want to access your gate from the front. Now, I nailed a piece of PVC pipe down in the ground about 2 feet long, pulled it back out, knocked the dirt out, and then knocked it back down in there. Now, if you want to have both of these drop rods down, like so, just know that they're both down and you can't access this gate from the front. But if a storm's coming through or whatever the case may be, you know, they can both stay nice and stationary there and won't move. And so here we'll take a walk through the property here. Of course, on this side, we had to do good side or flat side in facing you guys, because the neighbors actually had a chain link fence over there. And so, you know, one of the main reasons, you know, you want the rails facing you, of course, is for burglary and maybe property boundary. But, you know, I don't think that's going to be an issue. But anyways, as you see, the pickets all follow the slope and curvature of the landscape, staying flat across the top. And I remained about a ½ an inch to an inch off the ground through there. We'll take a walk down through the property. I had to remove a couple of limbs, but me and Michael were able to keep the big ones here, so we was able to go right up under them. So we'll continue through the flow here. Now this one right here might need to be trimmed up in a few months or so or whatnot. Michael said he would take care of it. So, coming on through the property here, continuing to follow the flow of the property. And then of course cornering it up right here, sealing it off so it's not visible, can't see through the corner right here. Coming along this way, of course every post, like I said, has concrete around all four sides, packed down really tight. In about 3 days to another week, coming up and shaking these posts will be impossible. They'll be as firm as a tree. And so before the concrete actually firms up and comes completely set, we went ahead and installed it, and as long as it stays straight, it's not going to set crooked. And so it is straight and level right now, and the concrete will set that way, and so it will stay that way. Of course, everything was also custom built, hand built, with the pneumatic nail gun. Staying straight across the top, right here was the end post where the property kind of shifted the angles there. Coming down to the end over here. And I ripped a 3-inch board right here to close off the gap. And then, of course, butted into the neighbor's fence there. And then we had the return right here. And right here, we came all the way across the return. And also, I wanted to show you over here too on this other fence. Let me mention this. I also installed an upgrade for you guys. Here at the bottom board, because it took a little bit longer than I liked on the job. I went ahead and put a 2x6 for the bottom baseboard. So that will not only help up the security and stability of the fence, it also lasts longer. And so that's about it. And I really appreciate you guys choosing to install with me. And as always, if you got any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I always stand behind my work 100%. So any issues or problems, I'm just a phone call away. And as always, thank you for installing with Master Cincy.